And we're back with another video from a Republican's point of view on politics. Ooh-wee. So now we're all the way into killing senators for their votes, most likely, the way that woman voted. That's the only way I see that. She was good with them until she didn't decide to vote the way they wanted her to vote, all of a sudden deceased. All these things that are happening, including the riots, are all because of governing bodies all over the United States. That right there, that killing, could be blamed on them. All the riots, all the damage around all these cities that are, or states and cities that are burning and everything that they're destroying, all that could be charged to all the governing bodies that continue and are out there constantly on the news talking about people need to hit the streets, people need to rise up. I always thought that inciting riots was a crime, but obviously when Congress does it, it's a whole different animal. The laws seem to be different. Even though the governing bodies keep saying that this ain't going to be anymore, obviously it still continues to be that way, to the point that now you have to worry about being killed as a senator or congressman and all that. You know what I mean? That you think that woman deserved that? You think that her husband deserved that? You think anybody deserves that? So they went on, tried to assassinate our president twice, and God knows how many other plots that were discovered before they went into action. Here they are with their crap. Now this guy supposedly is Tim's worker and this and that. These people, man, these people are out of control. And it's like I always say, if these people are not arrested first, you're wasting your time. I keep telling the governing body this, our federal government. If these people are not arrested, you are so wasting your time. You want to go out there and arrest a few rioters and all that? No, arrest the ones that are paying them. Arrest the people that are pushing. Arrest these people in Congress that are actually out here talking about that. How about Chuck Baby over there? Did not Chuck Baby set up the Supreme Court justices? And before you know it, because he said that and what he said on video, on the fake news, as you call it, right, or as it's called, all these people will soon hear us and this and that. And before you know it, they were out there surrounding the houses of our Supreme Court justices. Nothing happened to Chuck. Nothing happens to any of them. I'm telling you right now, all this in America, all of it, no matter what this administration achieves, if none of these people are arrested, as soon as they get one of their puppets into the presidency again, everything that was built it'll get thrown out, just like it did the first time when President Trump did it. He came right in, shut the pipelines down, opened the border. Everything he did was a waste of time, and it's going to be the same, right? Because the true definition of insanity is to continue to do the things the same way and expect a different result, right? Again, they had no problem arresting Republicans. They had no problem arresting a president. They had no problem raiding a president's house with fake stuff. The cases weren't even real. Fabricated shit. But they had the power to still, even with their fake accusations, arrest, and now they're graduated themselves into assassinations. You know why? Because none of them have been arrested. So all this that's going to continue to happen if they don't do that, this is not going away. It is not going away. Not at all. All of this effort, all this shit talking and all this bullshit, investigations and all this bullshit is all a waste of time. Big time smokescreen on the American people. Right? So there you are. So my question to you is, why are we doing all this if there's no point in it? It may look like everything's getting better a little bit at a time, and it may look like deals are being cut and this and that, but like I said, if the corruption is not pulled out, as soon as the president is not there no more, they're going to overthrow all that and throw it under the rug and do it their way again. Because the true core problem of our country is the corruption in Washington. They are the puppets of the globalists. That is how the globalist has control of our country. And continue to hold control. Even though we got a president, it doesn't matter. You're seeing it. You're seeing it. He comes up with something and they right away block it. So who's the president of the United States and who's really running the country at this point? I mean, it's just, you have to wonder what it is. You have to wonder why. You know, you just have to wonder why this is happening. It's happening because of this. This is the only answer. There is nothing else. Everybody's got all these opinions. I watch all these podcasts and they all talk about the same thing over and over and over. Oh, did you hear what happened over here? And look what's happening over here. And these rioters are breaking this and they're breaking windows. Yeah, we know what riots do. We know what lowlives do. We know what this is. But what good is that? What good is that? You could just turn on the TV and see that on YouTube, anywhere. So my question is, when are we going to take care of the real problem instead of talking around it all the time? Beating around the bush all the time, but never going into that bush. When does it stop? I'm telling you, America, we're in big trouble if these people don't go down. And let me tell you something, with this administration here, with Trump leading the way, and with the cabinet that he chose for his cabinet and everyone else, all the people he chose, if with this team, none of these people end up getting arrested, or if they get arrested and then get petty charges and they get away with everything, what do you do? What do you think? What do you think? You think that this is going to change? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now look at what's happening. Now they're trying to push us into that war over there in the Middle East. Because the globalists know that if they can push America in there, America takes their focus off of the crooked politicians, the corruption, and all the crap that's really going on in our country that is our business instead of not our business overseas, right? And we're going to take our focus off of the things we need to do. And before you know it, that war will drag us in. Before you know it, most likely maybe we'll get attacked. Before you know it, we'll be into a World War III and the globalists win again. Listen, let me tell you something. I don't care what anybody got to say. Everybody in that Congress that is on supposedly the good side of things, they all know that what I'm saying right here is true. But they're not doing shit about it. What does that mean? Are they complacent? Are they okay with it? Are they threatened and scared of these people? I don't know. All I know is that they have common sense, and I know they know that these people are the ones responsible for all this shit, but they won't do anything to them. They will just continue on and on. This war thing going on right here, believe me, that's going to be the #1 priority on the news. And protester spits at a cop, the cop punches him in the face, that's what's going to be on the news. Oh, look at the cops, they're killing people, they're doing all this shit. This is the bullshit distraction. All you people out there in these streets running around burning your own house down? The foreigners that you're helping to, destroy your own home and all of this stuff because they got you pumped up believing all kind of shit on the news. Everything you hear right away. The new term was king. Everybody starts talking king. If tomorrow the news says elephant, everybody will say elephant. All these people that are robots. People that have no sense. People that can't think for themselves. And when you hear them talk, they sound like a reporter off of CNN right away. It just goes to show you how mimicking everything they hear, they're incapable of thinking for themselves and understanding what's really going on here. So, of course, the globalists are taking advantage of that and feeding them whatever dumb shit they want. They know these youngsters and all these, even old people, they just flow with it. They'll get out there right away, start marching, throwing bottles, throwing rocks. I never met a person that thought that it would be a good idea to light their own house on fire or blow the windows out of your own home. Because in that protest, you think that that's going to accomplish something. How do you accomplish anything when you're hurting yourself? Usually when people set out to accomplish things, they're looking to advance themselves and better themselves, not to destroy themselves. In this mentality of today, all these riots and all that, that's what this is. People that believe that destroying their own homeland is the way to go. Here's the funny part. The people that you're marching along, once they get deported or whatever, you're the one left with a burnt down house. He just goes back home to his shithole. It's just like people that have envy. You know, they see a nice car somewhere parked because they can't get it because they refuse to work or do anything and achieve it like anyone else. They'll run by, walk by it, and key the car from front to back. And that's kind of what's happening here. These people egged you on to destroy your own home, and here you are, flowing with it. These people tell you on the news, on their shows like the WEF, that say, we're going to take your cars, we're going to take your homes. They didn't say Democrat, they didn't say left or right. They said, you are going to be happy, eating bugs and everything. This 15-minute city thing that they've been wanting to do it, that's what that's all about. You think they ain't doing that? You think that's bullshit? What's going to happen when you say anything on the internet that you believe is not even a problem? You get your internet shut down. What's going to happen when you say anything against the establishment after it's in and they shut your bank account? That's what's happening in China. Well, you think I'm making that shit? Look it up. Look it up. And that's what you're writing about, because that's where this is headed. You're assisting that. You're helping them achieve this ignorant, dumb way. You're literally saying that you're tired of being free and having it good. You'd rather be a slave to a system of pedophiles and corrupt people and murderers all around the world. These are the people that you worship. These are the people that you riot for. These are the people that you're out there acting a fool for. For $200, you're selling out your home for $200. If you own a house, or your parents own a house and you're a dumbass that lives in the basement because you don't know how to grow up and get out of there and do your own thing, would you? If somebody told you, I'm going to give you $200, burn your parents' house down, would you do it? So why are you doing it out here? It's the same concept. Same thing. Jesus. I'm telling you, look how far it's gotten. Not only do they want to kill presidents, they're killing senators, and eventually that's just going to keep going. You know why? Because the governing bodies are doing that. They're causing that. They're responsible for those deaths. They're responsible for all the riots and destruction around the country. And you know who's even more responsible? The ones that won't arrest these pricks that are doing this to our nation. They're part of that coup too. Because if all you're doing is talking shit and not doing shit, then that's all it is shit talk. So the longer our federal government waits to arrest the people that are paying people to do this, the longer this goes on. Meanwhile, here, we're doing this and we arrested John Doe over there, this and that. Impress me. Raid the shit out of the office in BlackRock and arrest them motherfuckers. How about that? Oh, we're scared of them dudes, huh? Come on, man. Come on. But arrest Soros. We all know Soros is a bad son of a bitch. He's just a bad bastard. He was part of Hitler's Nazi crew, collecting taxes for Hitler. There's pictures out there of him in their uniform. That son of a bitch committed crimes against people. And there he is hanging out in Congress, his son hanging out in the White House and all that. So you tell me what the fuck is going on in America. This reality that I'm talking about, this is the real problem in our country. All that other shit podcasts and all that bullshit on the news, all bullshit, smokescreen. This that I'm telling you is the problem. You want to fix it, take it down. Oh, it's not that easy. Fuck off. You know why I know it's that easy? Because they arrested you. Because when the globalists were running America for 4 years under Joe Biden, they arrested you. All kind of Republicans went down over that. Because when they were running the country, they almost assassinated a president. So don't tell me that it takes a long time to build cases because these people put people in jail for lies. And here you are preaching to me about, oh, this takes time. This isn't that easy. Bullshit. I watched it happen from the other side. To the point that some people, even like Elon and them, were saying, and even this Bandingo there, right? He was all, oh, I just want people to know that I am not suicidal. I am not this and that. Even he know that. That's why they make those statements. So they know exactly who it is that's doing these things to us. They know that. You can tell by their videos. Elon Musk said the same thing. I'm not suicidal. I would never kill myself. What did he say on one of the podcasts with Joe Rogan? If I were to tell the truth about all of it, I'll end up dead. You know why he said that? Because he knows who they are. He knows who the killers are. He knows who's threatening our country. He knows who's running the country. But here you are listening to everything else but the real truth. You got to read between the lines with these people, man. You really do. You have to understand that they do know. The question is, why don't they take them down? That, my friend, is the magic $3 trillion question right there. Is it fear? Is it because they're okay with it? They're part of it? One of the two, but it can't be anything else. It's one of the two. I mean, you tell me. How can you be scared of a little handful of people of 1% of the population when you have the control of the most powerful military in the world? The most armed citizens around the world are right here. What are you scared of? What do you want? What do you need? Is it not enough people? Call us. We'll come to it. We're all looking to defend our country. But still, I want to know why. Tell me why without telling me bullshit lies. None of them answers are ever going to play on any of those podcasts out there, because even those popular podcasts out there, even they're afraid. They're afraid of what they say. They'll go to a certain point, but not further than that. If they mention the globalists, they'll talk about it for 2 minutes and cut off real quick. They don't want to push the envelope there. And here you are, wondering what's the problem in America, when it's pretty obvious and easy to see for the world to see. Even Putin, he knows. That's why he threw their asses out of there, because he knows what they do. You don't want them in Russia. Why do you think that the globalists want to start a war with Russia? They need to drop that place. They want to take him down. Any country that doesn't accept what they want will always be at war with them. And now we're getting pulled into the Middle East. That all has a purpose. But it is an American purpose. And it isn't for the American purpose, neither for the benefit of the American people. It's for the benefit of the control of the globalist. Nobody else wins there, just them. And here you are, out there in LA, burning down your own stores, your own cities, your neighbor's house, breaking every car, every this. Meanwhile, the globalists are at the house looking at you like you're an idiot. Look at, I gave this monkey $200 and look at him out there, destroying his own home. You imagine how stupid them people look at you, what they think of you, how ignorant you can be. They give you that money and they think this is damn. This is like taking candy from a baby. These people are total idiots. They stopped you from getting educated, made you dumb. They're graduating your kids from high school. They don't know math. They don't know how to read. Board of Education was starting to hire DEI teachers that it didn't matter if they got a degree or not. How can somebody that can't read teach you how to read? Because they want to make it inclusive. Never mind if you're qualified or not to do the job. It's all about the color and the bullshit and your ridiculous beliefs. Right? Meanwhile, the rest of the country, their kids are being educated just fine. So when all these AI jobs come up, guess what? Americans won't be getting none of that. You know why? Because you were out there parading instead of educating yourself. So now all of a sudden one day they're going to say, hey, Lamb, we got to bring in 10 million people from another country that are educated to do the AI work because you don't even know how to read. And you don't even know math. Dude. And this is what you're out here fighting for? Not only are you dumb, but then you're parading to make your kids dumb too, so that they can never have a chance in life to be anything. So that they can continue living in poverty, looking for a handout instead of succeeding on their own. But how are you going to succeed when you can't even read? How are you going to do that? Basic math and reading, any job, even plumbing. I do plumbing. You need to know how to measure. You need to know how to read. You need to know how to write. You got to write reports one way or the other. You got to do something. But if you don't know any of that, how do you feel proud of yourself like that? How do you let someone convince you that it's a wise decision for you to be a dumbass and never be educated? How do you let a people convince you to go out there and destroy your own country? Meanwhile, they're becoming millionaires and billionaires and they live in mansions, and here you are in the projects. Right? But that somehow makes sense to you, and the minute they give you a $200 check, you're good to go. You're ready to set the world on fire for $200. What happens if the globalists take control of the United States and the world? Let me guess, the people out there rioting think that they're going to have a special place and a special job with the globalists? You might be the first ones they terminate, because they know that you're useless to them, because you don't even know how to read. But we ain't going to talk about those realities because that's too scary. That's a conspiracy theory. That hasn't happened before in the past, and it doesn't continue to happen every day in our world. And hey, I'm not a professor, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just some asshole on a microphone talking shit. But nothing I say is real, right? All this suppression of the other opinion, all these social media platforms out there won't let your videos play, hide you for people can't see that or hear your opinion. But if I'm a dumb bastard and I get on here and say, go out there and burn the world, I'll have 1 million views in a second. YouTube will make sure that my shit stays in the front. Like I said, they're all in it. They're all working it out for the bad, not for the good, for the bad of this country. The key here is break America. That's the only agenda there is. They must break this country. How did they do it? They're doing it from the inside. We're not getting attacked. Our own governor, our own governing bodies in America did this to us. They opened the door and let our country be invaded to bring in their own military and their own people to vote for them, to keep them in power all the time. Meanwhile, they got you out here thinking that it's about Democrats and Republicans. That it's about your race, it's about your religion, it's about your poverty, all this shit. Let me ask you this. So if the globalists achieve what they want and you're a slave and you can't even own a car, and now remember, when I tell you this, it's not like I'm making this shit up. Look up the videos of WEF and you'll hear that guy Claus saying that right to your face, straight out. You will own nothing, you will have nothing, you will eat bugs, and you'll be happy. This is their plan. And here you are for $200 out there marching along, destroying your country. So that none of you could ever own a business, only them. So that none of you are educated enough to know any better, only them. That, my friend, are the kings. That, my friend, is what you call, right? What you call tyranny. It's just going to be them against us. And I'll bet you that some of you fools out here, even if anything went buck crazy in this country and a whole war broke out, a lot of you will be on TV happy as shit that people are dying that are fighting against being slaves to a system. They made you believe that your enemy is we the people and President Trump. But in truth, we are not. We are their enemy. They're not going to do it. They're going to use fools like you to do it and cause all this shit. Look at that Gavin Newsom. Come on. You know what? 30 years back, a governor do some shit like that, not only would they have yanked him out of his office, he might have even been hung at one point in our lives for the shit that he's done. That woman Bass, egging you on. Let's burn. Let's start. I looked at a video the other day. They were starting to get some brush fires going. Dude, you people don't even have water in those hydrants. You start that shit and the whole California burns down, where you going? Where you going to live, Mr. Riot? Where you going to live? The globalist that paid you $200 ain't got a problem because he got a mansion in his house. He's watching you on TV. Where you going to the grocery store? Where? Where your kids going to go to school? We don't think about that though, huh? Because that would make sense and that would be contradictory to the way you think, right? You people need to get your shit together. You really do. Americans. You Americans out there that are out there playing this game, you have no idea what you're in. You don't even have a clue what's really going on. You're just out there. You're just out there. You don't even know who you're fighting for. You may think it's for a party. No. You're fighting for a globalist, tyrant, pedophile, criminal killers. That's who you're working for. And you're going to sit here and preach to me about our president? Or preach to me about how Republicans are white nationalists and all that? Really? Is that what you got? But you can't see the truth. That's the part we can't get you to understand. So you become irrelevant to us. This has to stop. This has to stop. And it has to stop at home first. We as a people need to get together. And like I told you in the past, we need to put our differences aside. And we need to come together for one reason. And it's to maintain free. Like I told you before, nobody's out here trying to change your lifestyle. And that's all lies. Nobody even gives a shit. Nobody cares. We've always coexisted in the past. Always. All the way from Sodom and Gomorrah, there's been gays. Nobody gave a shit. That's your choice. That's between you and God. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't dislike you because of your lifestyle. If I don't like you, it's because of your character. It's not because of the color of your skin. America's a melting pot. There's all kind of colors here. But dude, I am totally against those that want to destroy my home and my children's home and my grandchildren's home. I am totally against those that want to take away my freedoms, my abilities to do what I want when I want. I'm against being tracked like an animal through a field so that they know everything and anything about you. This is what that is. This is a control factor, a control of the masses. Did you ever think to yourself that these people are out here to the point that they're even spraying the skies with deadly shit to humanity? Nah, that's not a problem, right? What is a problem is Johnny boy over there can't use the girl's bathroom. That's what you think is a problem. You know what I think it's a problem? Our food that's being contaminated, our water, our air, our children not being educated. I got a tyranny or a group of tyrants that are looking to enslave the world and our country. Those are the real problems that I'm looking at. I'm not looking at nothing else. I'm looking at the getting hit with a bioweapon and that millions of people died and then they gave you a needle to kill the rest. That's what I'm looking at. All that bullshit you're out there rioting about doesn't mean shit. It's a distraction from the truth and the true problems in our world that affect all of us, no matter which walk of life we come from, no matter what color we are. This is a worldwide mission these people have. They've already destroyed many countries like this. You see it every day. You see the videos every day. But you insist because this is what you want here too. But let me tell you something. I can guarantee you that all you kids out there and all you grown-ups and all you idiots out there playing this game, if the globalists get their way, you're going to be the first ones crying bitch. You're going to be the first crying bitches out here. You'll see. If you're emotional about being called a name, imagine how emotional you're going to get when they tell you that you can't own anything anymore and you have to do everything they tell you to do when they tell you to do it and how. Like I said, you guys are just spoiled brats that have lived off the privilege of America for too long and have no idea what's really going on around the world. Look what happened to those people over there in Egypt that want to go over there and start that shit. Do you think the people care about that? Hell no, they threw you back on a plane. Get the fuck out of here, is what they told you. They don't have time for it. The rest of the world isn't operating like that. Only in America, the retards are full blast. But everywhere else, you get caught doing that, you get the shit kicked out of you and thrown some hole in a prison never to be seen again. And you're lucky your asses are Americans. Or you're citizens from other countries that went over there. Because if you weren't, you wouldn't have left that country. You might have been dead. You don't understand how other things work, man. You don't understand or appreciate our Constitution. You don't appreciate our country. You don't appreciate your freedom. You don't appreciate any of that. Because you take it off for granted until it isn't there anymore. Because you think that America will always be America. America is what it is because of the people. The armed citizens of the United States. All these other countries were overrun, and now they're throwing people in jail for 2 or 4 years because you made a comment. And not even inciting a riot or anything like the governing bodies here in America. Just, I believe that all these people should go back home and get shipped out of here. Bam, you're doing 2 years for that. There you go. That's tyranny. Globalists achieved that in the EU, and now they want it here. And here you are marching around, looking to fuel that shit. Well, this video today, I just wanted to get that out there, explain to you, that this has gone even to that level where they're assassinating people that don't agree with them, senators, all of that, even up to a president. And here you are, still not seeing nothing wrong with that. If they could do it to them, imagine what about you if they were to take control. You don't have a say. You'll be dead in 5 minutes when they decide they don't need you anymore. Left to be seen, I guess, huh? Well, anyway, patriots, God bless you. God bless my fellow Americans, brothers and sisters. God bless America. And may the Lord God Almighty always be with us. For with him, we cannot lose. Like and subscribe. See you on the next video.